Welcome back to another episode of Shelf Stable Recipes. And this is a collaboration that happens every first Tuesday of the month. And here are all the channels. We have Tulilu Creates, Alderman Farms, Crazy Days, Diane the Canning Nana, Fermented Homestead, Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking, In the Kitchen with Karen, Jenny's Scratch Made Kitchen, Linda's Pantry, Mennonite Farmhouse, Sutton's Days, and me, Prepper Potpourri. And I will also keep a playlist every time a recipe video is posted. I'll put it in the playlist, and the link is in the description down below this video. The rules in this collaboration is that you can only use shelf-stable items in your recipe. Nothing that needs to be frozen or refrigerated. An exception is eggs, because for those of us that raise our own eggs, we do not have to put them in the refrigerator. They can keep for 3 weeks or more right on your kitchen counter. Did you know that Americans eat 3 billion pizzas a year? That's right, billion pizzas a year. So obviously pizza is a comfort food for Americans and for many places in the world. And there's no reason that you can't make pizza using shelf-stable ingredients. And I'm going to show you how. Just want to remind you, make sure you download the attachment below this video and in a pinned comment, and it will give you all the different crusts that you could make, the different sauces, even made with tomato powder, your different topping options, and various types of pizzas you can make. So make sure you download it, print it, and put it in your shelf-stable recipe cookbook. Welcome, resilient citizens. This is Prepper Potpourri here, and I hope you're a subscriber. If you're not, please hit that subscribe button below and click on that bell icon below, so you'll receive a notification every time I post a video. Now, to me, one of the objects of cooking from your pantry is trying different things, maybe substituting one thing for another, and having fun while you're doing it. And a pizza is a great experimental recipe. So with pizza, first you have to make a crust. I'm using this very easy 1 box here Jiffy pizza crust. All you have to add is warm water. And you can use Bisquick too, or make your own whole wheat crust. I have recipes in the handout below. And you've got to decide on your sauces. You know, do you want home canned or bought pizza sauce, or you can use marinara sauce, or Alfredo sauce, or ranch. I mean, there's a lot of different choices, or just tomato sauce. Now it's time to choose your toppings. And of course, pepperoni pizza. All you need is shelf-stable pepperoni, and this pepperoni can remain on your shelf for 6 months or longer with no refrigeration. Or you might be able to use salami or summer sausage, which can remain on your shelf for some time without refrigeration. You could also use your canned chicken, right? You can make a chicken barbecue pizza or chicken Alfredo pizza. Spam, yes you can. Or even, these are Star-Kissed tuna, but this is chicken creation. This is white chicken with ginger soy. You could use that. That would be interesting. But you could also use canned tuna. And you can use canned meat like this, smoked ham. And when you look in your pantry, you might have a lot of other meat choices to use. And of course, you could go completely meatless too. Oh, and one other thing that you could try, especially if you like some sausage on your pizza, believe it or not, if you smoosh up these overstuffed Chef Boyardee sausage-filled little ravioli, it's not bad at all on pizza. Okay, but what about cheese? I mean, we think of mozzarella cheese and a lot of it on our pizza. And unfortunately, mozzarella cheese is not shelf stable. It is a soft cheese. I do have a video here on Food Story's cheese options that are shelf stable for 6 months or longer, but mozzarella is not one of them. So stay tuned because I'm going to show you how easy it is to make your own cheese for this pizza using only 2 shelf-stable ingredients that I am sure you have in your pantry. Now, for the pizza, we're using, remember these cans, right? Cooked ham. I was talking to Linda from Linda's Pantry, and she says she really likes this better than Spam, and I thought, why not try that? So this is what's remaining after I cut it for the pizza, but you can see it isn't exactly sliced ham meat. But you know what? I think it tastes pretty good. And it's not quite as salty as Spam. So we have our meat. What's next? Well, I'm just going to use canned pizza sauce. And then we are going to use Dole pineapple chunk. And once you make the cheese, which takes probably less than 15 minutes to make, it only takes about another 10 minutes or so to make your crust. And then, depending on how you cook your pizza, maybe another 15 minutes. So really, this is a pretty fast, shelf-stable recipe. So for this recipe, you're just going to need 4 cups of milk and 1 to 3 tablespoons of some kind of acid. So you could use your shelf-stable milk here, your evaporated milk, your shelf-stable whipping cream, your instant dry milk, but we are going to use the Nido dry whole milk. And then you just need some acid. So maybe you have some citric acid used for canning. I don't have any right now, but you could be using lime juice, lemon juice, or vinegar. We're going to need 1 to 3 tablespoons. And then we're going to want something to stir with, a tablespoon measure, and you might want a thermometer. Also a good idea to have cheesecloth. I am using this Mrs. Anderson's cheesecloth. I have a link down below if you're interested. It's really a nice fine weave, and you don't need to use as much of it because of that. But if you are using a more inexpensive cheesecloth with bigger holes, you may want to quadruple it just to be safe. Let's get started. So I mixed 1 cup of that instant milk in with 4 cups warm water, and it mixed up right away. Now I'm going to turn my burner on to medium, and we're going to start warming it up. And you know what? I probably should have said it's better to use a slotted spoon for this, especially when we get up to the curds and whey. But right now, we're just going to warm it up and stir it occasionally. Now, if you notice, I have this weird little green blob on here. It was just a cooking little knick-knack that I picked up that I thought was cute, and it will hold your thermometer, so you don't have to keep putting it in and out yourself. And right now the thermometer says about 115, so I keep on going. It's now at 140, and we're just starting to get some little bubbles around the edge. Just want to make sure it's not thickening on the bottom. Just about 180. See how we're getting bubbles around the edge? Like a little more bubbles on it. I think that's it. See how fast we made that cheese? It really comes up to 180 degrees pretty quickly, so make sure you're watching it. You don't want it to boil. Put in whatever you're using for your acid. Tablespoon. And now you're just mixing it. Trying to make curds. Give it about a minute. It's thickening. See the little things in the back there? And then give it 1 more tablespoon. squirting more. See it? See the color change on it? See? We're getting our curds. Pretty good. Ooh, look at that. Nice little fine curds. Yeah, I think 2 tablespoons was just right. We poured it in here without making a mess. That's pretty good. And then the whey is down below and the curds are here on top. And we're gonna let this drain for about 15 minutes. So I transferred this to another cup bowl here, whatever, because the bottom of it was in the whey. In the whey, W-H-E-Y. And you can keep this liquid. It's supposed to be high in protein, so it'll be good for you or for your plants. Go like that, right? And that's still pretty hot. I'm just gonna squeeze some of that liquid out. Now, they say you want to be careful. You don't want to take all the liquid out, but you don't want to leave too much in either. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. It's kind of fun. I'm milking my cheese. Feeling pretty good. I don't know, I think that's pretty good. Let's see. Okay, there we have our ball of cheese. Now, you could separate this into separate curds and make it a little bit more like a cottage cheese, but I think this is pretty good for what we want. Now, for this cheese, we could have added some fresh herbs or even dried herbs, maybe a little Parmesan cheese, a little powdered garlic, anything that you want to make it. And of course, if you were making more of a dessert cheese, you might want to add a little honey to it. It really is a versatile recipe. I've dumped out the contents of the Jiffy Pizza mix crust. And then, according to the instructions, we just need to have a half cup of warm water. So I'm just doing warm water from the tap. Now we'll just mix it up. And the dough is beginning to form here. And now we're just going to let this rest for 5 minutes. Okay, we want to work with it a bit. I add a little flour because it's really sticky, but we want to knead it. Okay. Oh, I'm too stuck here. Just kneading it a little, it doesn't need it a lot. There it goes, that's better. Now, I like to add a little garlic powder and a little Parmesan into it to make that crust really taste good. Now let's get our rolling pin. Now, depends on how thick you like your crust or how thin you like it. How you're going to want to make this. Is this going to be a perfect circle? No, it's not. That's the way people know it's homemade, right? Just do your best. Whoops. Get a little more. Just want it about as even as you can get it. Now, I think that's pretty good. So we can easily, so here we go. Oops. Gonna make a transfer. Flour. Now we just unwrap it. There we have it. It's not bad to kind of put some divots in it so it doesn't bubble up too much. There we go. Now I like to brush a little olive oil on it. I think it makes it crust a little crispier. Might give a little oil barrier too so things don't soak in as much. I'm not sure. That's just the way I do it. You don't have to put this on. Next, pizza sauce of your choice. Kind of like making an art project, isn't it? Is my oven saying it's ready? Maybe just a little more. Now our homemade cheese, I'm going to just slice it. So, and then I'm just going to break it up in pieces, right? Put on the pizza. Okay, now we're just going to put on our cheese. Little spots here. There we go. Now we have all that cheese ball put on it. Next, our meat. Little chunks here. We just lost power for a minute. I don't know if I'm on my generator now or what. I have no idea why. And now we have our pineapple. And I'm just going to put a little basil on top. Okay, ready for the oven. Now I am using a pizza stone for this recipe. I have put the pizza stone in a cold oven, turned it on to 450 degrees, and let it heat for 30 minutes. You do not need a pizza stone for this. You can use a pizza pan, a cookie pan with a piece of parchment paper. You can make it in your cast iron skillet. You could even make it on your grill. Do it whatever way you are the most comfortable with. But I have to say, that pizza stone gives it a really nice crispy crust. We're just going to leave it on that parchment paper for about 2 minutes. Whoa, doesn't that look good? Crispy crust. And let's just cut a piece here. Go. Now it's time for a taste test. I'm gonna let it cool off just a minute. Well, let's see, can I burn my tongue? Because I usually do. Let's see. Crispy. Good. Let's get a little of that ham and that pineapple. Aha. You know, the sweetness of the pineapple really goes well with this, because that canned ham is kind of salty and the pineapple sweet. It's really a good combination. And nice crisp crust. This is the winner. Now what about the cheese? Here's a big chunk of cheese. Does it taste like mozzarella? Not really. You know, it's not the same texture. But it still has a pretty good taste, especially with the basil on it. Do it again, I think I'd put in some spices, but not bad. You never know if it was made from, right, dried milk powder. So I hope you make a pizza. Be it the Hawaiian pizza, a pepperoni pizza, an Alfredo pizza, chicken barbecue pizza, whatever you like. And I have a lot of ideas in the handout down below that you can put in your recipe binder. So make sure you click on that, print it out, and put it in here. And do that with everybody else's collab today, because eventually you'll have a great shelf-stable recipe book for recipes that your family will love.